Really good win. Solid. Good return back for Ryan Garcia. What's next for Ryan Garcia?
For his future at 140. Still needs a couple more fights in order to adjust to Derrick James' style. Fighting some of these fighters like Duarte, or fight someone who boxes, a boxer, get different styles in there so you can Haney, at 135, he was essentially a weight bully, right? Yeah. And a lot of the guys he fought were significantly smaller in the ring on fight night. Like his last fight against Lomachenko, you could clearly tell the size difference between
Clear
the two.
difference.
He
Clear
was huge.
difference.
Also against Cambosis, yeah, he's always the bigger man in there. So him stepping up to 140, going up against Prograis. Prograis is a big dude.
I think so too, dude.
Whoa.
That'd be an interesting
Wow.
fight. Such a unique style of Navarrete, against such a unique style of Lomachenko.
Yeah, it's very boxing pure, and then it's very
and then boxing just
unorthodox.
Whatever works. That's Navarrete's philosophy. You know what I'm saying in
A
boxing?
clash of styles.
Clash of styles.
Polar opposites.
And styles make fights.
Yeah.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to another The Last Round podcast. You got me, Pablo,
You got me, Rulo.
You got me, Asael.
and let's talk boxing. So we had a pretty fun weekend of boxing this week. We had the Ryan Garcia return against Oscar Duarte. And we also had the Conlan versus
Gill.
Gill. There you go. Conlan versus Gill. Another return fight for him as well. But first off, let's start off with the Ryan Garcia. People were expecting big things. Change of trainer. He said he had a change of mentality. His good camp. Everything was paid for him to showcase something new. And there has been some mixed reviews online based on his performance this past weekend. What are you guys' thoughts about him, though?
Yeah, I feel like it's like 50-50. Like some people like, what he showed on Saturday. Other people don't like what he showed on Saturday. So it is interesting to see. But I think personally, you know what? I'm actually not mad at his performance. I think it was a good performance. Did he make mistakes? Of course. But if you look at the context, I mean, he's trying a new style of fighting. He was really trying to box, has a new trainer, all this type of stuff. So, yes, his work or his performance wasn't the greatest. It took him 8 rounds to get Duarte out of there, but he did eventually get him out of there. Got some good rounds, coming off of a loss against Tank Davis. You have to settle into the motions. I think that's what he did, and I was impressed.
Yeah, I'm not mad about the performance. I think it's a solid victory. You know what I'm saying? Coming back from basically quitting against, being on the biggest fight of his life, and he quit in front of everyone. So, he has to kind of go back and try to climb up that mountain. You know what I'm saying? So I think this win was a really good win. Solid, good return back for Ryan Garcia. But what I'm more concerned about is just sort of how the future, if he even has a future at 140 or possibly even 147, since this was a catch weight. What do you guys think? How what's next for Ryan Garcia?
Well, I think with his style, I mean, he still has to kind of break into that. You know what I'm saying? He had one fight incorporating more footwork, incorporating more jabs, all this type of stuff. So if he wants that for him, if he wants to fight like that, then he needs other fights like Duarte, who is beatable. Duarte isn't the greatest fighter at 140. He was a 135 pounder as well. So he needs people that he can go a couple rounds with and then work on his style, break into that style, become more comfortable moving, becoming better with Derrick James, all this type of stuff, getting his confidence back after, getting more win columns, and then call out big names. I don't think he should fight like a big fight like a Shakur, or right now we're at 140. Matias, any of those guys, Rolly. I don't think yet, because his style, he still has mistakes. He has to correct his mistakes.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah. Well, my personal opinions about his performance this past weekend. I give him a good B, a B plus, not a B plus, maybe just a B minus type of performance. He did what he had to do. Go in there and get the guy out. Took a bit longer. There were moments in the fight that you could tell he was, struggling a bit, especially since Duarte was just coming forward. And overall, he's a tough guy. He took some good shots from Ryan Garcia early, and he was able to still come forward and land his own. One of my main concerns about Ryan Garcia though is his defense. He tried doing like a somewhat Philly shell type of defensive style, where he kind of just like turned like sideways. And first off, the referee for the fight they had some pretty bad moments.
Horrible referee.
Yeah, he has some pretty bad moments. He kept on warning Duarte multiple times not to hit him in the back or going too low. But at the same time, that was Ryan who was obviously trying to do that Philly type shell, and just getting caught in the back. But no, yeah, that for me that's personally my greatest concern. His defense needs to sharpen up. He still has some bad habits, but you cannot deny that Ryan Garcia has power. Duarte came in and he got caught by a left hook. Ryan Garcia's bread and butter punch, and once he gets you with that left hook, you are as good as dead. So overall, decent performance from him. Now to answer your question, for him for his future at 140, I agree with Asa. I believe he still needs a couple more fights in order to adjust to Derrick James' style and what they're trying to implement into his game. Keep fighting some of these fighters like Duarte, or fight someone who boxes, a boxer. Get different styles in there so you can get more accustomed. Because if you want to fight a guy like Shakur, you're going to have to get really accustomed to fighting just pure boxers. If you want to fight a guy like Matias, you're going to have to fight people who are just going to come forward, right? Those pressure type fighters. So, yes, I believe Ryan Garcia, he has a slight future. I don't believe he has the future to be a big guy at 140, because there's a lot of big killers at 140 at the moment. So for him, I just believe he needs to continue building off of these kind of fights and just improving and implementing what he learns in the gym.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, he could become a world champion though at 140.
Rolly.
Because we got Rolly as a world champion.
Well, Rolly might be top 2 maybe of the
You know what I'm
140
saying?
pound
The best,
champions.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. So I mean, Ryan Garcia could become a world champion. It just depends how long Rolly's reign is.
So he has a narrow window of opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, if Rolly fights, cans, and yeah, he can be a world champion for a while, but if he starts like stepping up in competition, I mean, like Barroso completely whopped his last fight. It was completely horrible for him.
Yeah.
And Garcia, he definitely has chances against Rolly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a close fight though, because Rolly he comes to fight. He's aggressive.
He comes to fight. Yeah, he has no respect for the opponent, and I think that's what kind of saved Ryan a little bit going back to the Duarte fight. I think Duarte respected him a little bit too much, and I feel like it goes back to the thing. He does need a little bit more experience. He needs to be more in the ring a little bit more often, active against guys similar to what Duarte. And then that way, new trainer and everything, the chemistry can be there. But, yeah, he still needs a couple more fights. But I want to ask you guys a question. Do you guys think he has a puncher's chance? Because he does have that ghost punch.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan Garcia is naturally gifted.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But against the top elite 140, I'm talking about Matias
No.
Lopez.
No, he's not going to beat them. Definitely not.
Even with the ghost punch?
No. Not even with the ghost punch. I mean, it's Ryan Garcia. He could become world champion, but I don't think he's going to be at the top, which I could be wrong. We have to see, you know what I'm saying? If he's really dedicated to boxing and if he really wants to change, I think going with Derrick James was a good idea. And if he's starting to work on more of his craft, then I think he might be able to. Like, just what he's doing right now, I think he needs a bit more time. If they rush him and, like, put him in a fight immediately, like right now, his next fight against Teofimo Lopez, like, he's going to lose for sure. But if you don't rush him, you give him opponents like Duarte, who is a solid fighter, got power, comes forward, but isn't the best. You know what I'm saying? He's not technically that skilled. He's just a tough guy. I think that gives Ryan an opportunity to, build his craft, get better in defense, get better counter punching, fix those bad habits. And then once he's a finished product, then try to, put his stake at the top of the 140-pound division.
I think he has a puncher's chance, but the chance of that actually even happening, of beating some of these guys with, his ghost punch, it's very slim, compared to having that puncher's chance against like Duarte or people from that, at that level. Because, Teofimo Lopez, in my opinion, he's a, A-rated fighter, even though he is a little bit inconsistent at points, but when he showcases his best, he's one of the best fighters you could see in the ring. Same thing with Matias. A lot of these guys, a lot of these top 140 pounders, not only do they have the skills, but they have the mentality. Right, they have the killer instinct, to switch it on, to go in there and get it done. And Ryan Garcia, he's had his mental health issues in the past, and maybe that's one of the things that enables him to overcome this hurdle that he's in. But this just it's gonna take fights. I hope he gets he's working well with Derek James, his team around him, because he can just build himself off and become just more mentally stronger, fortitude.
Yeah, and I mean, well, definitely he has the support. You know what I'm saying? With the zone. I feel like the zone. I mean, he's not even with the zone, but
yeah,
like whoever put that ref in that ring, man. Whoever put that ref in that ring was definitely siding with Garcia, man. That shit was crazy.
Maybe it was Oscar.
Yeah, maybe it was Oscar, but yeah, which is actually another thing. Ryan Garcia, his future as well could change very quickly once he gets out of the Oscar De La Hoya's little fingers.
Yeah, the contract that he has currently with Golden Boy. If you had to guess, how many fights do you think he has left?
I don't know.
Not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell. Like, I feel like it seems as though it might be coming to an end, but I mean,
yeah, it seems it might be like Garcia seems completely like he just called him out.
Him and Bernard too.
The
executioner
in front of everybody. Yeah, like not even no regard, no nothing. So, I definitely think Garcia will I will assume he will likely take the free agent route. I feel like a lot of fighters have recently. That's what they've been doing, where it gives them a lot more flexibility.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They don't have to just solely fight on one
Network.
They can fight everywhere, and then that makes it easier also to fight. The opponents that you want to fight. So I think that would probably be in his future because his team, her so-called team, they don't look like they are a team.
Yeah, he's also big enough, on social media to do whatever he wants. He doesn't need Golden Boy to promote him. He's a man who can promote himself. He has the audience, he has the following, he has the name. People are gonna tune in. We just saw him and Gervonta hit 1.2 million this year for their pay-per-view fight. And I'm pretty sure he wants to get more money like that. Because I bet you the paycheck, once it hit his account he was pretty happy with that. Even though he didn't get the win. So yeah, I see him, like you said. I agree. I believe he's gonna take the free agent route. Him and Golden Boy are just toxic. It's like a toxic relationship. It's so toxic. Like they be like blurting, like they make it public. It's so funny.
Yeah. They go to social media for their beef.
Yeah,
I'm like, guys, why?
And then there's like Oscar De La Hoya with his passive aggressive tweets that he be posting about Ryan Garcia.
Knows what he's doing, dude.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, he really does know, and people, he's always getting flamed too. It's so funny. But yeah. So I believe after his contract, ends, I really do not see him trying to continue working with Oscar at all. At no points in his career, I think they have just a bad relationship. But yeah, I mean, Ryan Garcia has a lot of possibilities. He called out this press conference. He called out Rolly. He took shots at Shakur. This man, right at the moment this year, he's really been very, very vocal about his thoughts and opinions about the boxing world, which I like to see because a lot of fighters, don't tend to have like no personality. And he's for the first time in a while, or he's always had personality, but it's been kind of cringe.
Yeah, now he's actually like showing it.
He's showing it, yeah, the personality, yeah.
The dances.
Yeah, like the dances.
The tiki-taki.
That's fine, whatever. But when it comes to like talking, like if you're gonna talk your shit, talk your shit. Yeah, and he's been doing it. And that's what I've been liking about him. I'm becoming more and more of a fan of Ryan Garcia as he progresses, because I believe he's serious when it comes to taking the risks, taking the big fights. Because I mean, did he really need a fight? Tank
that early? No.
That early? No.
Didn't have to.
And he's been saying he wants Rolly, which I think would be a great fight. He wants Shakur. He wants all these other names, and I believe him when he says that. There's some things he says that I don't believe, but when it comes to making fights, I believe he genuinely does want it.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia has talent, man. Like, he besides all the cringy stuff that he does sometimes, and I think a lot of the stuff that holds him back really is his mentality and his dedication to the sport. But he's naturally gifted. He's extremely quick. He has a lot of punching power. He just has a knack for the sport of boxing. So if he can take this all the way. He just has to put his head down, really work hard, fix those bad habits that he has. But once he fixes the bad habits, namely defense, once he fixes defense, I mean, it's game over. If Derek James is able to mold him into a more complete fighter, he's going to be a monster. And he could be the face of boxing because of his popularity.
Yeah, I think at 140 might be an interesting point in Ryan Garcia's career. He could definitely, I think it's a make or break, you know what I'm saying? If Ryan Garcia is able to become a world champion, maybe 2-time world champion, he could definitely, that'd be so great for his legacy and whatnot. But, right now he still needs a lot of work right now to be done.
Yeah, I think probably he should be aiming at. I think Rolly is the weakest link,
so.
Man. Like it's so. I mean, it's smart. It's a smart thing to do.
It's
like you're not gonna call out, Teofimo.
No.
You're not gonna call out like Regis Prograis or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that would do dummy pay-per-view numbers.
Oh yeah.
Rolly versus Ryan Garcia.
The press conference.
The press conference would be so good.
I mean, the history's already there. Rolly is such an entertainer, man, in those press conferences as well. And I feel like the bad blood would just be there where just back and forth nonstop action,
Have you seen the sparring that they have on YouTube?
Well, who hasn't, man? That's viral, Everyone always be posting that stuff, because they really had those sparring wars. And people always use that to either side with Rolly or to side with Ryan Garcia. So it's kind of funny to see. But I guess both of them would fight to see who would be able to get the rematch against Tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would win in that fight?
Ooh.
Rolly and
Ryan.
It's difficult. What'd you say? What would you think?
I think I'm gonna have to give it a Rolly right now.
Rolly.
Rolly, yeah.
You think Rolly would maintain his championship status?
Yes.
I think Ryan.
Ryan,
Honestly.
you think Ryan
Yeah, I don't think Rolly has the punch resistance anymore. Yeah, I don't know. That Barroso fight was. I don't know what. It was bad. He got dropped. He got hurt, and he got lucky at the end. The referee Tony Weeks. Shambles. Barroso does hit hard.
He got grandpa strength.
He do, but I mean Ryan Garcia hits hard, and he's fast, and he's young. So
the ghost punch.
But with Rolly, man, you never know, man. You can get maybe world champion Rolly status. Having that world champion, the belt around his waist. Yeah, he gets like boosted up in all his attacks and his defense and everything, and the shit talking.
And his shit talking.
What about you?
It's hard to say. I think it's hard to say because I think the best thing that's helping Rolly would be his mentality. Like he's such a killer mentality, so confident, but he puts in work. Actually, it's probably debatable whether or not he puts in that amount of work, but
he's always in good shape.
He's always in good shape.
He gains quite a bit of weight in between fights.
He does, and then like the stuff I'm thinking about a clip that I saw in an interview. He was with Teofimo Lopez too. He was saying, "Man, boxing is easy. You gotta run. You gotta do push-ups. You gotta do sit-ups, and then you're done."
That's that old school shit.
Yeah, Teofimo was like, "No, there's so much more." But,
so funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
You can't deny though, he does have pretty decent boxing skills. I would say when he was fighting Tank, I feel like he had the upper edge, even though the judges didn't see it that way.
Really? The judges had Tank winning?
I believe so.
That's crazy because, he was winning that fight.
Yeah, he was winning, but, I mean...
Tank wasn't throwing.
He wasn't throwing. Yeah, I think he was just calculating him.
Yeah,
and then he just caught him.
Yeah. So, I think... But if I were to bet money, I would bet money on Ryan Garcia. I think he is... It's just... Rolly's last fight was just so bad. So, like, if Barroso can do that to you, what is Ryan Garcia going to do to you?
Yeah, he only fought one time this year.
Yeah.
He was supposed to have his mandatory. He pulled out because he said he was punch drunk.
He has CTE.
Yeah, he said he has CTE.
He might have CTE already.
So they pulled out of that one, and then they were gonna do the O'Hara Davis versus Barroso for the main card on the Ryan Garcia Duarte, and then that one got canceled because of the visa issues. Mm-hmm. So I mean. I guess Rolly's going to end the year as a world champion, which, I think he's happy with that, You can talk on Twitter and say I'm world champion still, baby.
He is. You can't deny the fact he is still a world champion. So, yeah, now regarding the 140, we got another big fight coming up. You know, we have Haney. Hey, you know, the world championships kings could change.
Yeah.
This coming weekend, we have Devin Haney versus going up against Regis Prograis for Regis Prograis' title. First fight for Devin Haney going up in weight. Yeah, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty easy fight. I'm banking my money on Regis Progress. I think Haney, the speed is definitely gonna be there, but I don't know. I mean, he's moving up in weight against a guy who can actually punch and he can take a punch too as well. You know what I'm saying? And he's a guy who's taken the long road. He's been at the top and he's seen the bottom. He's definitely not gonna let this younger dude try to take that away from him. You know what I'm saying? He just became a world champion yet again. So yeah, he's definitely had to climb up that long road. So I think we're gonna see a 100% Regis Progress. I think he's gonna let himself be known a little bit more. Beating a guy who was, I think, at 23, undisputed at 135. So this is a lot for Regis. I just think yeah, Haney's power is very questionable. Like, I don't, his speed is on point, his technique, his jab, everything's is there. But, I mean, when push comes to shove, like, you have to have something that kind of makes your opponent hesitate.
Yeah, it's because the problem with Devin Haney is he doesn't have anything to stop Regis Prograis. Mm-hmm. And Regis Prograis, best believe, is going to go forward and gonna pressure. And Haney could, I was about to say Shakur. Haney could run around. He and that's what he's gonna do. Obviously, stick the jab, run around. But he can't do that for the whole fight without stopping Regis Prograis. He doesn't have anything to do it. So I think Regis is just going to amount more pressure. Eventually, he's gonna crack Haney, and we've seen Haney doesn't really have, or it seems doesn't have the best chin. So going up against a natural 140-pounder heavy hitter like Regis Prograis, he's going to get close to him, and then he's going to start letting some shots go. And I believe he's going to hurt Haney.
So you both are saying Prograis?
I think Prograis, yeah.
Well, I've been saying that for a while now, and I'm sticking with it. I think Haney's going to get the decision on Prograis. I think it's going to be a tough fight, though, because, look, a lot of people... One of the reasons people are picking Haney is because of Prograis' last fight against Zorillo, where he looked bad. He got dropped in that fight. Right, yeah. His homecoming fight, he looked atrocious, right? And so if we get that Prograis against Devin Haney, it's going to be a clear shutout for Haney. But if we get the Prograis that fought Cepeda for the vacant,
dangerous.
That's a very dangerous man. Yeah, very dangerous. Cepeda is no joke. He's a very tough high level fighter, and he got turned into spaghetti, man. He got obliterated by Prograis. It was such a show out for Prograis. Then again, Devin Haney, you gotta give him respect though. He's moving up to 140, new weight division, and he's taking no tune-up. He's going straight towards the champion at 140. One of the stronger champions at that weight. You could say the best one. You could make an argument for the best one.
Honestly, and he's only 24.
And he's only 24. Yeah,
that's what I like about Haney. He's actually making big fights happen. You know what I'm saying? At a young age, building the legacy. So you got to give him credit for that.
Yeah. Exactly. So I have nothing but respect for Haney because he's coming off a win against Lomachenko, the best win of his career, and now he's stepping up to another obstacle, another hurdle in his career, which is fighting the 140 champion, a hard-hitting Prograis. So, but I believe that Haney has the skills, he has the fundamentals done, and I think he's just gonna box him, just move around, stick and move, clinch. A lot of clinches. I think this is gonna break the world record of clinches. most clinches in the world title fight. Yeah. I believe he's gonna try to make it as boring as it can, As long as he's able to get as long as he's able to get the win, I don't think he really cares because he just wants the belt. He wants to become a two-division champion. Two-division champion. So I have faith that Haney is gonna come out on top on Saturday. Yeah. For me. Yeah.
I think some of the things that you just talked about, of course, but I feel like if he implements a Floyd Mayweather type like style, I think possibly he could not only make the fight boring, but I think it'll definitely go a lot more into in his favor type stuff. You know what I'm saying? More of a just focusing more on speed. Use that shoulder roll a lot more, moving your legs a lot. When Oscar De La Hoya was when Floyd Mayweather fought Oscar De La Hoya, he was mostly running around, doing stuff like that. I think Haney should implement more leg work, move around a lot more, and then slowly, being able to just beat him, just boxing beautifully, using mostly speed, technique, and stuff like that.
The thing is, I don't believe that Haney is going to be able to do that perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, yeah, he can do that, and it's going to go
He's
like
pretty
that
close.
for 6 rounds, 7 rounds, or whatever. But eventually, he's going to get cracked. It's inevitable. And Regis Prograis, he's a deadly fighter, man. His combinations are very dangerous. So I think he can get him hurt. I'm not sure if he can stop him. That would come down to how good Haney can take a punch. If he can't take a punch, then he's gonna get knocked out. But if he can, then I think he's just gonna get beat up a little bit, and then it's gonna go into a Regis Prograis decision.
Yeah, that's the thing. This fight is, it could go either way.
It's a close fight.
It's a very close fight when you look at it because Haney, at 135, he was essentially a weight bully, right? Yeah, and a lot of the guys he fought were significantly smaller in the ring on fight night. Like his last fight against Lomachenko, you could clearly tell the size difference between the two. He was huge. Also against Kambosos, he's always the bigger man in there. So him stepping up to 140, going up against Prograis. Prograis is a big dude. Yep. He's a big dude, so I don't think he's gonna be able to bully, or get admit. I said he was gonna win the clinches, but I know there's gonna be moments where Prograis is not gonna. He can push him back. He can push him back. Yeah. He can bully Haney. I believe Haney's gonna be in the back foot.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole fight, so it's gonna be very, very difficult for him to push back a bigger man or a man who's the same size as him. So which makes this fight, even more interesting because a lot of the things that gave him success was the fact that he was, bigger. He was able to bully his opponents around. So and also comes down to his chin. Does he have a chin? I don't know, man.
Lomachenko was lighting him up, man.
Lomachenko did hurt him.
A little stanky leg couple times.
He did, yeah.
And Lomachenko, just like you said, he's a smaller guy.
Who essentially started his career at 122, didn't he?
22, and was never known as a big puncher.
No, just volume. Straight volume puncher. Volume puncher. Linares was able to crack him.
Another instance of a shaky leg. Stanky leg.
Yeah, so if he's able to, maybe going up in weight helps his chin.
We'll see.
We'll see. Maybe because he would kill himself to make 135. Possible. So maybe not dropping too much could save help his chin. But I think I agree with you. His punch power is something that he needs some power. He needs
something to stop his opponents. Yeah.
Because with Floyd, you're like, okay, yeah, he's known for his his defense. But when he was Pretty Boy, He could crack.
Yeah.
He could crack, If it wasn't for his, how brittle his hands. Yeah, he always had hand issues. But he could crack, and even when he was already, money made, he would still be able to crack. He had pop in his punch,
Yeah, people even said, his opponents would say, he does have power. Mm-hmm. It's not knockout power, but it's enough to make the opponent stop. And that's what I think Haney doesn't have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So that's the big difference between Haney and Floyd. But you cannot compare anyone to Floyd though. No. Floyd is a different caliber of fighter.
Not yet, at least. Maybe Haney fools us all and just shows a masterclass performance.
Stops progression.
Yeah, imagine. Holy. Because for Devin Haney, man, they just have that singular knockout of his on repeat.
Oh yeah,
and you guys know which knockout I'm talking about. I know because they always play
the straight overhand, right?
Straight overhand, boom.
It's a good knockout.
It was a good knockout. I ain't gonna lie.
It's overplayed.
It is overplayed.
It is overplayed.
It's the only one he's got.
The only one he's gotten.
Imagine he does that at Regis. Oh my god.
Oh, that'd be huge. I think
that shoots him up to top 5 pound for pound.
Oh yeah, shoots him up. Yeah, and also look. So Devin Haney right now is one of the candidates for Fighter of the Year. He's alongside Terrence Crawford and Naoya Inoue. Mm-hmm. If he beats Prograis, would you guys consider him, a clear candidate or a clear, winner of Fighter of the Year?
I'd say.
Or you have to wait until Inoue fights.
Yeah, we could wait until Inoue fights because he's gonna become undisputed with that. without a doubt. Honestly, I don't think anybody really believes that Tapales, I think his name is. I don't think anyone
Filipino
believes
dude?
Tapales is going to put anything against Naya in a way. You know, he's special.
We
But-
never know. He might be the next Manny Pacquiao.
We never know. But for Haney, I think I still wouldn't give it to him, even if he's able to knock out or like a super spectacular performance. I just think Crawford has this one. You know, I think this is just
Oh.
Crawford's year. You know, so
Yeah. Who did they give it to last year?
I'm not sure.
What year was it? Oh, 2022. What
Yeah.
happened 2022?
22, I don't know.
I don't remember who they gave it
Remember.
to.
Yeah.
But I feel like if Inoue becomes undisputed, wins his fight, and is very successful, yeah, I would say why not give it to him? Like, he's done something that not a lot of people are on the same category as him.
Who, we knew it?
Inoue. Yeah. He's creating his own path.
Yeah, so you think okay? Yeah.
I wouldn't give it to Crawford.
You wouldn't?
No, I wouldn't.
Wow.
I mean, if he would have fought more than one time,
Just because he fought once.
just because he fought once, yeah, and it was a great performance. Don't get it wrong.
I think
But he is one of the candidates. I do believe so. If Inoue loses and Devin Haney loses, then either Crawford is gonna probably win the award. But look, he fought one time, great performance, all time, one of the greatest performances in the championship fight. But he's going up against Inoue, who challenged the 122 champion, beat him, and is going for undisputed, and all in the same year. Then you have Devin Haney, who's coming off of a win against Lomachenko and potentially becoming a two-division world champion if he beats Prograis. So you have these two active fighters who are accomplishing, these things. And Crawford did become undisputed at 140, 147. I'll give him that. But
140 and 147.
Yeah, exactly. But I think if he would have fought more than once, I would have given it to him for sure. But just the lack of fights for me is what gives the other fighter the edge for me.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's all up to Haney to see if he puts up a good performance, man. Because, I mean, a clip of him, I saw a clip of him recently. He was hitting the bag. That boy looking big.
Huge.
Dude, he's a big boy. The people were making fun of him. They're like, he's a 147 pounder.
Yeah.
Like, what the, how are you making 135? So, new division, strong opponent as his opponent. This is a great fight, great fight for Haney. I respect him a lot for, taking big fights. Coming off of such a close fight against Lomachenko, going up in weight and challenging the champion at 140, this is really big stuff. And I think a lot of people are hating on him.
It's because it's Haney.
Because it's Haney, that's easy.
They hate on him because they're saying he ducked Shakur and he ducked somebody else. I don't remember who, but they're saying he ducked Shakur. I'm like, ducking somebody is like if you don't fight him and then you take an easier fight. This guy went up to another weight class and is challenging the champion of that weight class. He wasn't ducking anybody. He's taking a very difficult fight. This is a 50-50 fight. So I think a lot of people hate on him unwarrantingly. Tank, that's the other person that they say he ducked. Tank and Shakur. But I don't think he ducked anybody at all. He's building a legacy, man. He's doing big things. So finally, he relinquished his titles at 135. So it looks like
It was about time, right?
About time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was inevitable.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody really believed he's going back down to 135, unless he really wants to kill himself making that weight. But besides that, I mean, we got 135. It finally has 4 belts in the year.
Yes.
So we might be seeing Gervonta Tank Davis become an emo champ.
Oh, I think we did see something along the lines of the WBA might give him the actual fully upgraded.
And did you see Gervonta's response?
No, what he said.
He said, "I don't want it."
Yeah, he lying.
He said, "I don't want that shit."
He lying, bro.
So that's kind of funny.
You want to know why I know he's lying?
Why?
Because he has that at the beginning of his boxing career, he would wear all like a onesie type thing, not a onesie, but like something like a uniform type thing, just to match up with him and his old teammates, and it would say strap season. You best believe he's gonna receive an email very much shortly.
Yeah, I think so. Which I feel like it shouldn't even be that. I feel like there should be like a fight for a championship. Like I don't understand why they just upgrade guys. It's so dumb. I hate boxing organizations. They're completely like ruining this stuff.
Well, I mean, we already have one new champion, which is Shakur Stevenson.
Shakur Stevenson, yeah.
Yeah, one of the new champions out of the 4.
Out of the 4.
Some big candidates. You know who I could see become a world champion, though? William Cepeda.
William Zapata.
Yeah, I can see him becoming a champion at 135. He has the skills. He has the
Dangerous.
He's very dangerous, man. The volume, man. Volume with the power that he packs, he breaks you down. He's a very dangerous man. He on X earlier this week, a picture appeared of him and Shakur, posing for a picture. They were together, and people were speculating like, oh, this could be a great fight in the future. And Oscar De La Hoya has made it known that William Cepeda wants to fight Shakur Stevenson. So maybe get William Cepeda a shot at a title, and then maybe they could unify sometime next year.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain about that. I think that's a good. Good opportunity.
Great opportunity, right?
Yeah,
well,
definitely.
Yeah, so 135 is now open for new champs to be arriving, which is great to see.
I think Tank's gonna sweep.
Tank becomes undisputed at 135. And Lomachenko could also get another shot too. Against Kambosos, yes. That one's rumored for April over in Australia.
For a world title.
Yeah,
wow.
I believe so. Yeah. So 135 is open. Haney's fighting this weekend, so we made our predictions for that. Now let's go back to this past weekend's fight, the one over in Ireland. Conlan was making his comeback fight after his loss against Luis Alberto or Venao Lopez. He fell short, in that championship fight. And he was, trying to climb up again, to get another shot at a world title. And he went up against, his name Jordan Gill.
Yeah.
Jordan Gill.
I'm not sure his first name, but
I don't remember
for
his
sure
name.
Gill.
Gill. Let's just say Gill. I forget his name.
Yeah.
But, this fight was not what Conlan was expecting it to be, He got dropped and he got stopped. Mm-hmm. And am I shocked? No. Because Conlan has shown, ever since that Leigh Wood fight.
Leigh Wood took his soul, man.
He took his soul, man. And it's sad to see because Conlan had a good amateur career. He had a pretty bright, future for professional. He became he was world champion, correct?
I don't believe so.
Or was he? No, they were fighting. For Leigh Woods. For championship. Yeah. But he had all the ingredients to become a world champ. But yeah, that Leigh Wood fight, once you get stopped that way, get knocked out the ring, I don't know. That was the pivotal point in his career, and he has not been the same fighter since.
Yeah, I don't think he ever will be the same fighter anymore. I think Leigh. Now this is his second consecutive loss. You know what I'm saying? And second consecutive loss. It looks like his chin. He can't really take a punch that well in his hometown also. And it just, I don't know, it just seems like he's done.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, you know what I'm saying, seeing that. Because, you see the beginning, like, for me, the first time I was introduced, or I knew about him, was the one where he the Rio de Janeiro Olympic Games 2016. He flipped off
everybody.
The judges, and, it's broadcasted live or whatever, so that was a big exposure. So you see that late amateur career, and then you see him entering the pro. If I remember correctly, Conor McGregor was there when he made his pro debut in New York. So yeah, now it's sad to see he was so close to becoming a world champion in that fight against Wood. Sadly, they didn't turn out that way, and now it seems as though it's not going up. You know what I'm saying? Sad to see. He has, though, to his you could argue, leg problems, ankle problems. I know he had surgery maybe not too long ago. So, there's things like that a lot of fighters do go, continue to fighting with injuries and stuff like that. That could have some type of an effect. But, yeah, man, it's not looking too good.
Yeah, I think, it's just the thing with him is his style is completely wrong. Like, he was trying to, bang with Gill for some reason. And the first punch that he gets cracked, he gets sit down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, people, I saw this on X and I saw this everywhere. Yes, I think the stoppage was a bit early. I'll be the first to say I think stoppage was a bit early. But I still believe he would have gotten knocked out eventually. Whenever Gill would land some clean shots, Conlan was getting hurt. So it was only a matter of time. I think it's time for Conlan to hang up the gloves. He had a good amateur career. He tried his best in the pros, but second consecutive loss in his hometown, KO. It's not looking that great.
Yeah. He's already past 30. I think he's like 31 or somewhere around that age. Which, in the grand scheme of things, is not old, but for an athlete, for a boxer especially, for any combat sports, especially boxing though, that age, you're starting to see some wear and tear. And, I mean, all three of his losses have been knockouts. And they have been devastating. Well, except this last one. But
wasn't.
the first two against Wood and El Venao,
Venao,
they were devastating. Like, absolutely devastating. And so, I mean, do you really want to keep taking that much punishment? Like, you've tried your best. You've contested 2 times, tried fighting for that belt, and it just hasn't. He's just come up short, which is a shame to see. But I mean, that's the sport, right?
Yeah, man. He's a warrior, bro. You don't have to prove anything else. You've gotten in the ring several times, gave it your best. You came up short. There's no reason to keep on going. It's just diminishing returns. He's just gonna keep on getting hurt. I'd like to see him retire.
Yeah, I don't see any other way he can really turn this around. Like, it's 2 knockouts in a row in your hometown. That's quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't see what else he can do to improve his situation. Best of luck to, if you do end up retiring, best of luck to whatever you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned the injuries, and it got me thinking. This past week, Navarrete had surgery. He had hand surgery on his right hand.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah.
Is it left?
It's left or right? I don't remember which. Anyway, he's had hand problems, and supposedly he's been having hand problems since Dogbes. And I don't know if you guys remember during the Oscar Valdez fight.
Oh yeah, he kept on shaking it.
Yeah, he kept shaking it, and there's footage of it from his corner. Him saying that he messed up his right hand, and then his coach was all like, "No mames."
Yeah. Typical Mexican.
Yeah. But I mean, it shows you how tough Navarrete is, though.
Yeah.
He's been fighting with a bad right hand or whatever hand. Regardless, those are your weapons. And for him to still be able to drop people,
It's because he got so much power.
that is insane.
So much
But,
power.
Hey, maybe was this injury or was this surgery? We get to see 100% Navarrete, and that is one scary dude.
Maybe he has more power. Maybe he was only operating at like 80%. He couldn't really crack somebody. But now his hand is back. They put some plates in there. Bam.
Oh yeah, he's gonna start cracking. Hey, and with 135 now an open division,
He could jump up to
he could
35.
135 and get himself a belt and become a 4 division.
4 division.
That is insane.
That is insane.
Imagine a 4 division for him.
He'll be up with the greats. A lot of great Mexican fighters have like a 4 division champions.
Yeah. That's legendary status for him, and I think he could potentially do that. If they time it right, if they get the right opponent, we could see Navarrete become a 4 division world champion soon, which. I'd be so delighted. I'd be like, let's go, Navarrete. We like him here.
Yeah, we are a Navarrete fan.
Yeah, we are definitely supporters and whatnot. And speaking about 135, like Shakur is now a champion. Like if that were a possibility, like that could be a very foreseeable future, really. So yeah, like off the top of your head, who do you think would win?
Between who?
Navarrete and Shakur.
I would say Shakur.
Yeah. It's hard, yeah, because Shakur he's just going to make it boring.
But some of the other competition at 135, I can see Navarrete definitely like beating some of these other guys like Loma, Pitbull Cruz, Cambosas.
Loma even.
Loma.
I can see him beating Loma. I think Loma's too old now.
Really?
I think so.
I think so too, dude.
That'd be an interesting fight.
Yeah, that would be.
Navarrete against such a unique style of Navarrete, against such a unique style of Lomachenko.
Yeah, it's very boxing pure, and then it's very
and then boxing just
unorthodox.
Whatever works. that's Navarrete's philosophy. You know what I'm saying in boxing?
A clash of styles.
Styles.
Polar opposites.
And styles make fights.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That actually be a really good fight.
Yeah, and it's because Navarrete as well. He is used to fighting people shorter than him. You know what I'm saying? Lomachenko looks like a guy he was fighting at 26.
Yeah.
At 126. You know what I'm saying? So,
But Lomachenko's also used to fighting guys who are taller.
Who are taller than him? That is true. But he's not used to the Mexican power.
He is not. Definitely not. Yeah. Has he fought any Mexicans? Like
That's what I was trying to think
he has
right
fought
now.
one Mexican from San Luis Potosí.
Salido. no,
Sal-
Siri Salido.
City Salido, I guess the first, yeah. But so he fought City Salido, and that was the more tougher one. The other guy, he didn't really put up too much of a fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he actually got stopped.
Oh.
From San Luis?
Yeah, from San Luis.
Ay.
So I think he's only ever fought 2, and the one of them beat him.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Maybe the Mexican style is the
That's the weakness.
that's the weakness.
That's the weakness of that.
Lomachenko.
Of the, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Eastern Europeans.
But not just any typical Mexican style.
The Navarrete.
Navarrete
The-
style, yeah, that's wild. I mean, there's a lot of potential for it. I'm saying open division now. Haney no longer.
And not only that, he's a big 130 pounder too. I think.
He is.
Who?
Navarrete.
Yeah.
I think within 2-3 years, I could see him definitely moving up to 135.
I think so. I mean, he is a big guy.
He eats Twinkies, bro. He's definitely
Before
gonna
fights.
Before fights, bro.
An hour before the fight, he gets
What
he
a
gets his
done.
carbs by he
He's
gets
got
a little
those
Twinkie.
energy.
You know what I'm saying? He gets that little sugar rush. Yeah.
Yeah, but stuff like that. Yeah, I definitely see that as a possibility. And maybe seeing Navarrete, boxing, Mexico boxing, Mount Rushmore.
Definitely. Yeah.
I'd like to see that. It'd be great. I would tell my kids about Navarrete.
Yeah, that's
be
what
like
I'm gonna tell
that.
my kids about.
Who's the greatest Mexican fighter you ever saw? And I'm like, sit down, son. Let me tell you about El Vaquero. You guys have anything else you guys want to talk about?
No.
No? You think good?
Super good.
Good. All right. Well, wait, actually, before we end off, let's go to the influencer side. Mams Taylor, aka, the guy, the Dana White of
AKA Dana White.
Dana White. He's essentially Dana White.
He is.
He spoke and said that they were, having, one of the main things he wants to do is bring a MisFits event to Brazil. And who better to have the main event? None other than Anderson Silva, the legendary MMA UFC fighter. And he was listing off some potential fighters for him that could possibly be facing Silva in this Brazilian event. And one of the names that most people are really, leaning towards or want to get a shot at Anderson Silva is Faze Sensi. People are really, trying to push it for Faze Sensi to be the opponent to be picked to fight Silva. What are your guys' thoughts about that? Silva against Faze Sensi.
That's interesting, man. If Mams Taylor is able to pull it off, he really is pulling some Dana White moves. That's something Dana White would pull off. But I think it's a good idea. You know what I'm saying? I think it's smart that MisFits or the influencers are trying to make events where the fans are. You know what I'm saying? Brazil, they really show out for their fighters, man. They are die-hard fans. And if they get a headliner of Anderson Silva, you know what I'm saying, a legend in the UFC now, boxing just as a side quest, that would be massive. As well, adding Nunes, we saw he has star power all the way in the UK. Yes. Imagine in the hometown.
Oh,
I think the arena would be going absolutely crazy.
Bro, I don't think they would have to fight in an arena. They would have to fight at a stadium or something like that, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, because I think that probably generated a good amount of money, honestly.
And then having Anderson Silva's kid as well.
Anderson Silva's kid, yeah.
It's just all Brazilian fighters.
They really could build that up like a real good card.
Yeah.
Yeah. As for the opponent, Faze Sensi, I think Faze Sensi is one of those guys who's not really trying to doesn't have a killer instinct. You know what I'm saying? I think he'd just go in there. I don't think in his mind he wants to be I want to knock out Anderson Silva. You know what I'm saying? Or I want to really put pressure on him because he's old now. You know what I'm saying?
What is he, 50?
He's a legend, something like that. He's very old. So I think if Faze Sensi, it kind of showed as well in the Kenny fight where he wasn't really pushing the pace. He was fine with just having a chess match. It looked more like a sparring, and that's what I feel like against Faze Sensi, who doesn't really have the I don't believe I haven't seen it. I don't think he'd be able to want to hurt Anderson Silva. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, it could possibly be chosen the right opponent for Silva. Maybe Mams Taylor. With his Dana White mentality, he might be thinking about other things. Maybe having Silva on another card or something like that, or maybe his kid. Stuff like that. You never know. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'd say I'd want a different opponent for Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
I'd say Levon Ball would be a great one, honestly.
Le'Veon, yeah.
Le'Veon Ball.
He's expressed he wants it too.
That'd be a great.
Everyone who we mentioned Le'Veon, Sensei, Idris Virgo.
Idris Virgo, another good fight.
And I forgot the other ones, but they all said that they all want it.
They all wanna fight,
Yeah,
yeah.
they all want him.
Oh, yeah,
you
payday,
know?
man.
Yo, it's the payday,
yeah.
the exposure. Oh,
Exposure.
it'd be the biggest fight of their lives, you know.
And they have a chance at beating Anderson Silva, man.
Yeah, just because of the age.
Just because of the age.
Just 'cause
you
of
know
the
what I'm
age.
saying? I'm not saying Anderson. Anderson Silva is good, but the age.
The age, yeah. Or
Age
maybe,
gets
hey,
to you.
we can get a Jake Paul rematch.
Jake Paul rematch.
Silva.
That's what's gonna make the most of my
Let's go.
money.
See,
That's what's
bro.
gonna make the most.
Now
of my
I'm Dana White, man.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Yeah, so I guess that was one of the big news in the influencer scene. And also the appeal, you know?
Yeah.
The KSI appeal.
Sore loser.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to dig too much into that. We beat that horse back in October. we do that.
Yeah, simply put, KSI was not humbled.
He was not
I
humble.
think that's the easiest way to put it.
And they, I guess they rejected his appeal, like the first, step. I don't know. It's a whole thing.
Mams Taylor's trying to. Yeah, I don't know what he's trying to say.
Regardless, yeah, I don't see him overturning it. I think it's gonna stay a
It's
loss.
definitely gonna stay a loss. A unanimous decision is not getting overturned.
Yeah, no.
There's no way.
Yeah, so I guess those two were the big news in the influencer scene. It's been kind of a little slow.
It has been.
Yeah. But I think we covered everything. Let us know what you guys think about Ryan Garcia's performance against Oscar Duarte. Did he perform well? Was this a good comeback fight? Who do you want? You know, do you think he beats Rolly or does Rolly beat him? I don't know, man. You gotta answer that. Go down in the comment section, like the video, subscribe. We have our Discord as well. Go join us in that. We have a link in the description with all our social medias. We are on Instagram, TikTok, and X. Follow us there and let us know what you guys think. But in the meantime, this was Pablo.
Rulo.
Also,
And this was the Last Round Podcast. Thank you.